Danke, Nyabonga. Hello, once again. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the Disky podcast. Welcome back to another exciting episode where we get to talk about what's been going on. Look, it is a final match. It's the last match of the season. So, obviously, without wasting any more time, I want to get to it so we can look to talk about what's going to happen in the preseason. What can you expect in the next coming season as well? But before we get there, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also don't forget to click on the subscription bell so you guys can get to be notified for any other new episodes I drop every time. Yo, you know, I don't know. I don't know here where to start with uh, Kaizer Chiefs, man. Kaizer Chiefs has had a terrible season. I think this is what Zwane has said, Kuti. This is one of the seasons that like to forget. True. But I mean, losing three games in a row, guys. And looking at those games and looking at those chances that the goals that they concede are very silly. I mean, sometimes you look for one. I was one of the guys who was a pro Mangete. I was for him. I supported him. I created enough reasons to not doubt him. But at the same time, I don't think he is the only problem in that team, in that club. That's where the biggest question is today. Is Arthur Zwane the problem or the only problem in the club? Who's to blame? It's the players, it's the coach, the technical team. But what we can agree on, looking at the result today, is that this is something that they have to look into very deeply the next season. Now, they lost in the Cape spot. Okay, here's the thing. They lost number 2 spot. They lost number 3 spot, super spot. They now lost finishing number 4. Hi, guys. Every time it's an important match where it matters more, these guys choke. What the hell? Every time when it's a game where, look, today there was like, there was no, like, even if a draw, they would have stayed at number 4. They were not qualifying for a CAF. But, my goodness. It's terrible because when you listen to my interviews, Bastela or others one in this instance tells us about um, the injuries that they've sustained. I don't think it started there for me because when we go back to how they started their season and why couldn't you have signed players? Like, what's going on with you signing players before a coach? And what's going on with all these excuses you keep on giving us when things are not going right? Why can't you have your house in order? Like, why our fans have to really suffer like this each and every season? We're going to another season without a trophy. Let alone since 2019, which was earnest at the time, we've enjoyed top 5, top 8, top 5 again. I think for me, what maybe we are in denial of is the fact that football has lost that club. It has left that club, it's gone to Sundowns. Pirates is at least they picking up their socks and they're making the right decisions for the club so that they can go back to them winning things again and being taken as a serious club. They've lost a major sponsor. I think we've talked about it in a sense that we do not know the behind the scenes because here a lot of things boardroom politics or the happenings of these things. There's not enough reporting for us to know what exactly happened. But for me, I think Kaizer Chiefs. I'm not too sure if it's the time to say, but I've actually had this opinion that they have to start admitting that football has left that club. what I don't understand is it maybe they overhyped the young players because apparently they have young players. Looking at the game, man, it was very, very, very low quality. It was mud football as they call it. They don't have they can't really play. They're playing against 10 men again for the what 15th time. You can't unlock a team that has less players than you. Look, for me, I don't want to be emotional about that because when you look at the game, it at any point, even Sundowns has struggled, Pirates have struggled. It's very hard to play against a team that is just sitting. That is just sitting. But my point is, preseason, can they start with having to think about the technical team in a sense that they have to reshuffle? We saw it with Pirates when they demoted when they had Ufadlu, co-coaching kind of thing. And look at this. They, I think, ended up at number 4. They won a cup and they went to I think they went to the final of the Confed. But they still made changes because they had felt that the coaches were not senior enough to take that role. You see what I'm getting with this? They could have given him another chance. They took off Ufati because they had felt it probably the whatever identity or brand of football or philosophy they wanted to instill wasn't working because we had heard that behind the scenes he wants to play a certain type of football. So those are the kind of things that you think about when now you look at this club where they don't know. Okay, so Kaizer Jr. is a sporting director. He's new to that role as well. Ubobi Mtaung, yeah, Ubobi Bob Steak, we don't know what he's. You see the things that I'm telling you. Like, these are things outside of football. And now you bring in those players, they themselves probably as confused as we are. Because you bring in the players that how do you profile these players? Abu Solomons, Sahile. Now we heard rumors that the striker, Upemeni Manu Caleb, he could be on his way out. Like, what kind of clowning is going on in that club? Like, the football has left them. Like, in terms of professionalism, they very, very sloppy. That's what I'm saying. At the Sundowns, they look like a team that is very serious about this league. Kaizer Chiefs is not. I'm telling you now, I will tell you this for free. Kaizer Chiefs is not. And this is not me reflecting on the last couple of games. Look at how they play. The players, they are playing for their salaries. They're not really serious about this club. You can tell that either they don't trust the coach enough or they're not willing to play for the badge badly enough. It's the fans who love this club, but the people there themselves, management, technical. For me, solution that they can start focusing on is either they demote Umangete or they hire another assistant coach who is knowledgeable enough for him to have enough assistance and we start to see consistently the type of football he wants to play. Give them 10 to 15 games because we've given him enough 30 games. And remember, he took over 7 games last season. And the previous season, he had another 7 games. So that's enough for us to know that he's not ready. Like I said, look, they say a wise man changes his mind. I'm one of them. I will admit that Mina, I was also thinking it was a good time. I was looking at the fact that Pep, once upon a time in Barca, was given a chance when he was a young coach. But we forget that um, when you make such comparisons, they need to fit because the environment as well needs to be right. The support needs to be right because management is also taking responsibility at Kaizer Chiefs and saying they have to give him the support in regards to the right players for him to play the kind of football he wants to play. So meaning they are telling us that they are admitting that they should have started off in signing the right players for you. We didn't have a striker. Dupree was only striker signed in. You offloaded every player that could have helped us for you to say, look, and now they have to rush in doing this trialing system and all these kind of things. And it didn't help their campaign because they started off losing enough or critical games, and he has to shuffle, go back to the development, rush these players, put them in the deep end, and all these things. Let's look at the game today. We'll come back to those stories because I'm just emotional. For me, like I said in my prediction video, I knew that Peterson is out probably because of the mistake that he did against Supersport Criminal. Kune is back, looked very, very pathetic. I did expect either Kwinika or Hungo, but I'll take Hungo because Kwinika and I is one of the suspects who've been making a lot of mistakes. I still don't understand why we're playing Solomons and Forsler on the same side. I still don't get it. I don't understand because there's not enough creativity with that guy on. Because you can see some of the passes are very loose. One wants to pass this one, the other one runs before or after. They haven't gelled as well as you would like them to be. And I feel as well, if you are played out of position, you're not going to play your level best because those are the things that maybe having a technical coach or another assistant coach can help them. So say, Endota, no, let's do this. Let's approach it in this way. What kind of players do we have? Can we use this one? Yeah, how can we motivate the players to play better? Because now with Shepard, I think he's one of the suspects there. I could be wrong, but for me, I think he's one of the suspects. I'm not saying Zwane is not to blame as well, but I don't think their philosophies agree. Because at times you've seen that when we are losing, we're playing aerial balls, long balls a lot, and all these things. And now we're losing the so-called identity that we want to instill, where it's coupled football, it's interplay, pass and move. Defensively, we've lost shape. We're not high pressing anymore. We're just walking. So those are the things that inconsistently we've seen. This is where we've lost games because if you sleep, they'll punish you. And also the defensive error that we've made, a lot of them. I mean, even today, the goal in the first 7 minutes, it was just from a throw in. And Eric Tink, like I said, he's a seasoned coach like Abu Kevin Hunt. They know how to win games. And that's where a young coach doesn't. So the school fees, the school fees that they're telling us about is going to be costly for this brand. And this is a big club. Kaizer Chiefs is a big club for you to be experimenting. It's a big club for you guys to be telling us that you're paying school fees. Stop doing this thing of not wanting to bring in the right players. But now, to be fair, we've heard rumors that quality players have been profiled to come to the club, supposedly. For me, they should just bury their pride, just bring Onuchali for season or two. We need experience. These things of having to rely on very, very flappy players like Abu Doli, Nabu Kama Piliat, they are washed up. And even these young players themselves, far worse. So for me, Foreign Gone with the game today just sums up their season, sums up the kind of decisions that were made that are not really favorable for the club. So I think there's a lot of lessons that they need to really take into account. If they're serious about this league, they're serious about this club, there's a lot of serious changes that club needs to make. Number one, technically we need to understand who's running the show. Is it the sporting director? They need to give us the proper answers in understanding what is their rebuilding phase. Is it phase one or phase two now? And now with the coach, if they do happen to be profiling a coach, either bring in a coach. It doesn't have to be a foreign coach, but they need to tell us because I feel as well now it's high time to really probe that, look, it can't always be the coaches, because coaches have come and gone, and you guys have really fired really, really good coaches. We need to understand what's really going on there. The club now needs to be a bit more transparent with us, because we've seen that they are very reluctant into. They must tell us if they don't have money. If you do not have money, just say, because you keep on saying you can't compete with Sundowns and all these things. Then how are you going to rebuild with you buying buy one for two? Because they brought in Solomon's, Umahlatsi and all these players. They didn't use them. And we saw them, even when they were used, they were not used in the right way. Your coach was also learning on the job, where you need to win games. Imagine. So today, they had the majority of the ball. If you want me to tell you what happened, they had majority of the ball. I still feel that they use it in the wrong way, because again, they couldn't unlock City. Like I said, I told you that they're going to be rushed. And look, this week I think I want to do a video with these new players. Abusaile, he's not a striker, that guy. He is not a striker. Dupree as well, before his injury, like a headless chicken, he was running, kept on running. Solomon's as well. Zwane, he was losing a lot of balls. Zwane was losing a lot of balls. At times, there were glimpses. Tutu Shabalala comes in. And hold on, before we talk about Tutu Shabalala, what happened to Kama Piliat? Those are the kind of, you see, either also the conditioning coach. There's something that that Kaizer Chiefs, they need to sort themselves out. Now, I don't understand that Ukama Pilat, why was he used as a sub if he's not fit enough to play? You could have just brought him to do, then bring him in the last minute. You're wasting subs. So here the planning is not right. And like I said before, because of the nerves of the last game and everything that has been felt, and obviously publications are not going on easy on Kaizer Chiefs. There's a lot of nerves. Kaizer Chiefs is the wounded animal at the moment, like I said before. And they don't want to react, but they're going to. Trust me, they are. I think they're going to give him 10 games next season, for me. Arthur's on his job now. If he thought he was not on the line, I think when he was playing in Nedbank telling us that he's not worried about his job, he should now. I wonder from now, he should be worried about his job, because they are going to fire him. If not, they're going to demote him. He has ruined his brand as far as he is now. We've seen a lot of chop and changes. This season or this game, squad is here, and all these things. One key thing is he has to stop changing a lot of things there. Like, I understand I don't even understand what's his philosophy anymore. The first 10, 15 games, we played coupled football. The second round of games, we've been playing a lot of high balls, long balls, not enough ball rotation, and we've been making a lot of mistakes. That's all you can say about the Kaizer Chiefs. You can't even open books and change some stats. We don't need to see stats. I think that the body language of the players needs to be right, and they need to start showing up. They really need to start showing that they were paid or they were bought to actually make a difference, because they now showing us there was no difference with the players that actually left. The players that are put in is just another exercise. They waste a lot of money, and there's not enough improvement. I mean, there is not really enough improvement. Kevin Hunt had a team he played top 8. They ran a team where he couldn't sign any players, but he played better at times than the current coach or the current crop of players that we have. Sure. But anyways, guys, for me, that's it for me. That's what I have for you in store in regards to this game and what's been happening for Kaizer Chiefs this season. Look, if you guys have an opinion, please leave your comments in the section below. And like I said, don't forget to love or subscribe, and actually please keep on clicking the subscription bell for more videos. And thank you so much. Thank you, Nyabonga. See you next time.